Hi, welcome back to OCVarsity.com and this week's CIF Championship edition of our Baseball Inside the Dugout program brought to you by Dave and Buster's. I'm Dan Albano, joined here by the OC Varsity's Say Hey Kids, Steve Fryer. And Steve, we have got a dandy of a game coming up on Saturday night in Lake Elsinore at the Diamond.
Right.
We have Mater Dei Trinity League team against the fourth place team, at-large team Dana Hills, who's just made a great run out of the playoffs.
Absolutely.
Mater Dei's made a great run too. I mean, they defeated the number 2 seed Royal of Simi Valley and number 3 seed Lakewood. But I mean, two teams that have made a great playoff run. What a game coming up, Steve.
Yeah, it's a really good matchup. And last year we had Capistrano Valley against Edison in the Division I final, and this time it's at Lake Elsinore. The reason being, it's out there, people kind of wondering. The Dodgers are in town. U2 was supposed to be using Angel Stadium for the concert, but it got canceled. But, you know, CIF, they already had the arrangement with Lake Elsinore. They're going to keep it out there. It's an 8,000-seat stadium. I think a high school baseball game looks better, feels better, and all that in an 8,000-seat place and a 40,000-seat place. So it's going to be a great matchup. And you mentioned Dana Hills, you know, having that great run. Really, in a single elimination baseball playoff format, once you get hot, you get a couple pitchers going, you can go the distance. And Dana Hills has proven that. And again, you know, if you looked at the Orange County rankings all year, the South Coast League was highly represented all year long. We got a little bit of grief about being, you know, sort of South Coast League centric, but I think how good the South Coast League was, as represented by how well Dana Hills has done, it really says a lot about the South Coast League.
All right. So Peter Tago, 13 strikeouts on Tuesday against El Dorado.
Right.
What's his status going to be like? And we're looking at, is it going to be TJ Moore for Mater Dei? What do you think the probables are for the pitching?
Well, I think you're going to see Eric Shea pitch for Dana Hills. He's their number 2, and he's a solid, reliable guy. You know, Mater Dei kind of balanced out their pitching a little bit. Corey Hahn, he has like 5 innings left to go. You have 30 outs per week. That's the CIF rules. And then the kid Moore, heck, he can go 8.
Yes, TJ coming off a great start, his best start of the year. Interesting against Lakewood, he went 6 innings, his longest start of the year. He had only had 2 starts, so he'd be making his 3rd start of the season. He's a reliever for Mater Dei. Have you ever seen a team like Dana Hills make this kind of run? You know, being, you know, they're from a tough league, but they're an at-large team. You ever seen a team that made this kind of run that you remember in recent county? You know, in your memory, Mr. Fryer?
Well, you know, there's always a team that gets to the semis or the quarters and things like that. But in Division I, you know, which is the elite division, coming out of the wild card round, being a large team and getting this far, I don't recall anybody doing that.
Well, that big victory against Edison probably gave them some great momentum early in the playoffs. We know, so that was a big victory for Dana Hills. How about Ocean View in Division III? Did almost a similar thing. They defeated the top seed Beckman.
Yeah.
And they made a great run. They're going to face on Saturday afternoon, correct? Fill us in about Ocean View.
Yeah, that's a 1:30 game also at the Storm, the Division III championship game. They're going to play Bonita of Laverne, which is good in a lot of sports and been very good in baseball, too, for a couple of years. And the thing about Ocean View, you know, we've seen them win a couple championships. I think the last was in 2005. They usually go pretty deep in the playoffs. Great youth baseball out there in that part of the county in Huntington Beach. And so Ocean View with Shane Borowski coaching the group, a great catcher named Robinson, a really solid team. They look pretty strong.
All right. And we still have one more final on Friday. It's going to be in Division VI. Fill us in about the Academy League champion Oxford Academy.
Well, Oxford Academy last year won this division championship, and here they are again. You know, that school is most known as being the top academics public school in Orange County. They're always on top of those rankings, but they've been good at baseball for quite a few years. And here they go again. They won the Academy League, which is a very good baseball league. You know, Sage Hill, number 2 team from that league, got to the semis as well. And Oxford's playing Desert Christian of Lancaster, and that's a 4:30 game at UC Riverside on Friday.
All right, so what another great year for Orange County baseball.
Yes.
Time and again, Orange County is definitely a hotbed for baseball, proving it once again. Hey, Steve, you had an interesting column today writing about a proposal out there, double elimination tournament proposal coming for the baseball playoffs. Interesting to me because I wonder how much longer is this going to make the season. The playoffs is going to be, and as you know, a guy who's covered a lot of JC baseball and know what double elimination baseball means. Where are these high school teams going to find the arms? Those are my two questions. I'm sure that will be debated out there. It's going to make the season a little bit longer. And then where will the high school teams find the arms? That would be my concerns.
Well, the first question about the length of the playoffs. Right now, it's a 5-game playoff.
Right.
Okay, if you go to the finals, that is.
Right.
The potential for 11 games now in the playoffs. They'd have to push back the start of the season to the latter half of February,
Right.
and then you're going to have an 11-game double elimination tournament. And it's great for teams that need a second chance. I mean, look at Edison. They had such a great season, and then they lose one game. They'd like to have a second chance.
Sure.
They're not going to get a second chance. So this would give those teams a second chance. And in a 7-inning baseball game, one bad hop, one ball strike call that doesn't go your way can alter the course of the game and end your season.
Right.
So I think it's pretty good. Now, what you brought up about the length of the games and all that, the more games, the transportation costs, that's something that principals are certainly going to have to be convinced about by their baseball coaches. Then in terms of finding the arms, when you play these like 5 games in 5 days tournaments during spring break, and then also, the Loera tournament, the Newport Elks tournament that opened the seasons, everybody's got to identify the third arm, okay? And sometimes guys get hurt. I mean, look at Mater Dei, for example, okay? Matt Blanchard was supposed to be the #1 pitcher. Hasn't thrown an inning all year because of arm issues, so they had to go find a new #1 and a #2 with more. So it can be done.
Can be done. Well, hey, opportunities there, just like you're saying for the double elimination. Be interesting, though. You can look at it as, so how about Edison giving them a second chance? If you give them a second chance, do we have a team like Dana Hills who makes the run? So it kind of can work both ways.
Yes.
So, but hey, that's what is going to be debated. It's going to get out there. It's
got to be interesting, Dan.
It'll be interesting. So, well, hey, be sure to join us on OC Varsity Friday night, Saturday. Going to have live updates. There's been a lot of updates on baseball in the OC Varsity blog, video, photos. Steve's outstanding coverage. I'm sure Damian Calhoun will be out there as well.
Yep.
So thank you, Steve, and be sure to keep those clicks locked on ocvarsity.com, where we've got you covered.